The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
So welcome to your unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This is the Main Event Mark Podcast. So, today is Sunday or Saturday Manila time. And yun, thank you very much for listening to this show every week. And today is the last episode of the recent season 8 of the main event. So these 3 episodes that we are going to release for the next few days will be the final episodes of our current season. So, thank you for everyone who is supporting this shit for the past 3 years. So yes, I can confirm we are going to release 3 episodes this week on the main event, and I can share with you a few news or stuff that we can share here on the podcast. So first thing, next Friday at 10 p.m. or 9 to 10 p.m. basta ganyan oras, we're going to have our anniversary live stream. Yes, Wednesday yung mismong anniversary ng podcast, pero we are going to celebrate that on Thursday or Friday Manila time. Sorry, palagi na ako nalilito, but it should be Friday Manila time, 10 p.m. 9 to 10 p.m. Basta ganyan yung start time natin. We will give you more updates on that in the coming days. Pero yun muna ang aking share. Basically on that day, we're just going to talk about anything about wrestling, anything about the history of the main event, everything about this whole thing that we're doing. Even though we are now able to finish the recording of that episode, I'm still going to record a few episodes dito din sa episode na to. For the next 3 episodes that I'm going to release, I'm going to give you guys a review of Queen of the Ring. So, one of these 3 episodes na i-release natin is isasama natin yung review ko on Queen of the Ring. So, Queen of the Ring kakalabas lang sa streaming platforms, mainly in the United States. There's no way for us to watch it here in the Philippines kasi di naman nila nire-release. So, kailangan natin go beyond the seas para mapanood natin yung Queen of the Ring. So, yun. Bibigyan ko kayo ng review niyan in the next couple of days. I am not hindi ako perfecto mag-review ng mga movies that's something to do with wrestling. Pero, yun. I hope I can give you the best review that I can share here on this podcast. So, yun lang muna ang aking ma-share. Ano pa ba? Yung mga bagay-bagay pa na pwede natin pag-usapan in this show, ay atin din pag-uusapan. So, yun nga. Parang, yun yung mga pag-uusapan natin for the next couple of days. So, first thing before we start this podcast, let's share with you a sad news that happened this week. So, we had Sabu. Sabu's death was announced on this week. So, the wrestling world lost Terrence Bronk, better known as Sabu, over the weekend. Initially reported to be 60-year-old at the time of his death. Sabu was revealed by court documents to be 61. The cause of death is still not unknown. Sabu's legacy in wrestling is one written in blood, barbed wire, and fire. The ultra-violent style that he championed ultimately took a role on his body. Despite wrestling in every promotion from WWE to WCW to ECW to New Japan Pro Wrestling to AEW and beyond, Sabu's life was marked with tragedy and beyond and hardship. Even his retirement match, controversial as it was at the time, was marked by controversy when it was revealed that he might not have been as medically able to continue to compete as fans initially thought. Much like his uncle, the Sheik, Sabu's body was racked with pain throughout most of his career. The bridge between Sheik's hardcore innovation and today's regularly extreme style. Sabu is one of the most mentioned when it comes to the innovators of the professional wrestling business, essentially sacrificing his own body to protect and to push the wrestling business into new business frontiers. Of course, we are being told on this news just a few days ago when it comes to the death of Sabu, and we are also being told that we're also getting this information that regarding on his death, Sabu is still strong as it is. Sabu was brought to AEW, helping Adam Cole defeating Chris Jericho at AEW Double or Nothing in 2023. But for the most part, Sabu worked for promotions like GCW. The realities of deathmatch bookings were made grimly clearly recently as Sabu's opponent in his last match was Joey Janela, that he revealed that Sabu was in rough shape before his final match. According to Janela, Sabu could walk and was given the legal drug Kratom to help him work the final match pain-free. And then Sabu suffered a concussion but managed to finish the match, defeating Janela in an awkward, uncomfortable display. Few days later, he's gone. That is the news that we got thanks to our friends over on Wrestle Inc. on the death. Sorry about that. On the death of Sabu, WWE also mentioned his life. And so PWPH, Main Event Mark, and Pro Wrestling Philippines Club Wrestling Network extends its condolences to Sabu, his friends, his family, and his fans. We are getting this information regarding on Sabu's death, and we are also being told that there might be some information as well that was told a few minutes ago regarding on Sabu's death. So again, Sabu, the legend of pro wrestling's hardcore style, has died in the age of 60. Again, Pro Wrestling Philippines Club is with his family, his friends, and his fans around the world. This is the Main Event Mark Podcast, and you are listening to your host, Angelo Panera. Thank you very much for listening on this podcast. We are going to continue with our regular programming in the next couple of minutes. But first, can I share some thoughts about Sabu? Just a second. Alam nyo, napakainit dito sa bahay. Studio. Kaya nag-adjust ako ng fan. So, manonotice nyo yung pag-adjust ko ng mic. Pasensya na din. Pero yun. Ito. Sabu. Hindi ko naabutan sa prime to si Sabu. To be honest with you guys. Some of you might can. No? Naabutan nyo siya sa prime niya. Kung naman yung legacy na nagawa niya, for sure naabutan nyo to. Si Sabu. Sabu is indeed one of our favorites when it comes to hardcore style. Pero it is what it is. Unahan lang talaga ang buhay. We couldn't predict what needs to happen or what needs to be made just for the sake of building reality when it comes to his life and also his morality. Again, Pro Wrestling Philippines Club is condoling with his family, with his friends, and his fans. This week in professional wrestling, we are being told that Sabu has died in the age of 60. Pro Wrestling Philippines Club and the main event Mark is condoling with his family, with his friends, and his fans, not only in the Philippines, but around the world. Yeah, so that is the news that we got for the past few days. We can now move on to our regular programming, and yeah, let's talk about wrestling. So before we go to wrestling, unang-una sabihin na natin that Zack Sabre Jr. and Jake De Leon versus ELP, El Fantasmo, and Fabio Makisig are going to compete in the main event of Dexcon Dakila. So Dexcon Dakila is set to take place tomorrow as we speak, and di ba tayo sure or we're getting no information about the status of the ticket availability, but as we speak it's already been sold out according to our friends in the community and also our PWPH wrestling community. We are being told that the tickets are already sold out, so that's it is what it is. Then we're getting more information about the upcoming card. I hope you can check also our friends over at Dexcon on their Facebook for more details and results for the possible show here on Dexcon Dakila. Thank you very much again for supporting local wrestling, and i-acknowledge ko nga lang tong post ni Darius before we move on to reality of wrestling. Bear with me here. Let me check the post ni Darius. I-check ko nga lang tong post ni Darius, no? Eto, sandali lang. Parang teka lang. I need to check this out. Just bear with me. Teka lang, puta. Ayan na nga. Wait lang, hinahanap ko yung post ko sa main event. Okay. Yon. So, yeah. Oh, bakit ganun? Okay. So, ito na nga. So, we are getting the news, aside from the local wrestling, of course. So, nag-post si Legend Darius that I am now calling for an end to the petty tribalism that has held back the Pinoy wrestling industry. No to tribalism in the local wrestling scene. I don't care if your favorite is FPW, Woo, Puso, or Dexcon. At the end of the day, what truly matters in the grand scheme of things is that you support and worship me, Mr. Darius the Great. I love this guy, man. Seryoso. I appreciate everyone who is supporting everyone or everything when it comes to everything that we do here for the wrestling business. And pero sabihin na natin na as it is, no, itong si Dexcon, ang hirap kasi sabihin, na ang hirap sabihin na marami kasing gago na nasabihin talaga nila, pucha, ba't nyo hindi sinusuportahan yung wrestling dito? Sabihin nila, wala kasing big stars eh. Meron po tayong big stars dito. Ako na po nagsasabi sa inyo. If we are getting the news of the upcoming things that we got. So, just in context nga muna tayo. So, yung mga kapitbahay natin sa APAC Wrestling. I think this in Malaysia, if I got it right. I'm not sure. Bobo ako sana geography. De, joke lang. We got the news from APAC Wrestling that their promotion is now a WWE ID prospect ground for Southeast Asia. Hindi natin sasabihin na ito ay pang buong Southeast Asia na or from buong that circle of countries that they are in. So, if that's the case, circle of countries, we would say, kasama bang Pilipinas dyan? I could not say a lot of things. Pero, na-notice dati kasi, the next couple of days, before noon, alam naman natin lahat na si Phoenix, si Noah Phoenix, I'm not sure who his whole name is, but let me check it right. So si Phoenix, alala natin sa wrestling, no, she competed on her match versus Crystal in a brutal, fantastic match according to our friends in the community. Ano tawag dito? Nag-compete siya in a match that they are expecting na magkukumpit siya on that period. Tapos, ano ba? Parang umaasa na lang din tayo na ano ba ang reality? Ano ba ang reality na haharapin natin just for the sake of arguments or just for the sake of we should get this thing resolved. Pero going back to this argument na ating tinatakal, nalimutan ko na nga yung argument ko. Pero yun nga, hinahanap ko yung pangalan ni ano dito, pucha naman. Wait lang, hinahanap ko yung sa APAC Wrestling just to share with you a few things there. So again, Malaysia nga, tama nga ako. Hindi ako pwede magkamali sa country. Ang bobo ko naman if magkakamali tayo dyan. Pero, yun nga, we're being told sa APAC Wrestling, we got the history there that in this country, we are now going to get the WWE APAC or WWE. Ano tawag dito? Ano bang pwede ko sabihin dito? Can we call this advertisement or endorsement or sorts? Can we say that? Ganun ba yung ano natin dito? Parang ganun na nga rin eh. Pero, yon. So, APAC Wrestling as this partnership roles when it comes to this type of things that we have when it comes to this promotion or dito sa APAC Wrestling, we could not say bad things about nor Phoenix Diana pala dapat. Pero yun, I think that we are able to justify this match between Crystal and for Diana, Phoenix Diana. Yan, I think that should be the case. And yun lang naman. Wala naman ako masyadong kailangan sabihin about this match, but I really wanted to say that we are looking forward sa partnership na ito between APAC Wrestling and the WWE APAC, of course, no? Ayan. So, dito nga lang muna tayo. Let's focus on Backlash kasi ito yung bakay talaga ng episode na to. We will talk about more things on our second episode this week. So, of course, it's Backlash. We are advertising that this match or this PLE should be the last match of John Cena in St. Louis. Ganyan. No? Let me adjust my seat. So therefore you can hear me clearly, no? Ayan. So let me adjust my seat and we got some information now. Ayun. So Start nga tayo. So, today's backlash or this week's backlash was coming 3 weeks after WrestleMania 41 and di tayo nagsulat nun, no? Pero, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko, this PLE I think was one of the shortest PLEs, 2 hours and 54 minutes. So, madali siyang panoorin. Di siya kagaya ng ibang shows, no? Pero, ang nakakabuisit kasi, again, this show will be air live in St. Louis on Peacock and on Netflix. So, let's start with the main show. 5 matches lang ito. So, bear with me here. Let's start with LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Solo Sikoa's ally, Jacob Fatu, and Damian Priest. So, let's start with the 4-way, no? So, itong 4-way na to, I think this match was really good. Even though medyo may stop siya in the middle na I'm really not expecting when it comes to ano ba yung nilook forward natin with Backlash St. Louis this match. And based on my pre-analysis doon sa episode natin recently, I think it justifies the point that we should look forward on this match mainly. At masyado rin klaro that Damian and Drew are not from over. So, di natin sila makikitang hindi magkasundo anytime soon. Pero, ang highlight nitong match na to, so, basically, Knight and Fatu are fighting at ringside as LA Knight are being sent first to the ring post. And then, LA Knight smashed Fatu's head into the commentary table. And then, LA Knight pushed Fatu on the table and went to the middle rope. But Solo Sikoa pulled Fatu off the table. LA Knight went to Solo and somebody from the crowd hits him with a clothesline. So it was revealed that was Jacob Fatu, Jacob Fatu's new ally. It's Jeff Cobb. And the fans are reacting to it. And Solo is giving Cobb some orders. Then Cobb sent LA Knight to the ring post 2 times, and Cobb splashed Knight against the ring post. Then Jacob Fatu took advantage on the situation and finishes LA Knight in 17 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay, so before we start talking about this, I know this is also very imminent to talk about, pero as we speak, on May 17, 2025, we are still waiting for FPW statements about the status of their belt because in de facto, hindi pwedeng dalhin or hindi pwedeng walang champion si FPW if that will be the case. And as we speak, we never got any statements about this development that Jeff Cobb is still the FPW champion, and based on their talents, ang statement lang na binibigay nila sa atin na since wala pa namang major statement si FPW, we should declare still Jeff Cobb as the FPW champion. So what this means for the wrestling business as we speak. So in de facto, we still have 2 world champions in Main Max and Jeff Cobb. Pero I could not say how these things will move forward for FPW, and I hope we can get more answers imminently regarding on this development as we fold things going forward when it comes to the current status of the FPW title and when it comes to the status of the current era of their wrestling. So based on what we know, FPW actually held 1 show this year and their pay-as-you-go wrestling show. Aside from that, ever since, wala pa tayo nakukuhang content about wrestling, so it's basically all talk. What's happening about that and what's with that also, I find it ridiculous kasi Wala pa tayo nakukuhang bagong wrestling from them this year. I'm not critiquing them as a promotion. I'm just telling facts on what's happening in FPW. I know baka ako ay pag-initan na naman dito. But I hope, ito lang naman sinasabi ko, I hope we can get a statement as soon as possible on what will be the status of the FPW title. Huwag nyo kong i-out of context, utang na loob. Huwag nyo kong i-out of context sa mga sinasabi ko. I am just telling facts that at this point, we need to crown a champion in FPW. And I hope it's Legendarius. Please. Si Darius yun. I love the guy, man. I love the guy. Tropa natin yan si Legendarius. So, I could not say bad things about Darius so far in his run in FPW. Napapanood ko rin siya. And based from our friends in the community and also PWPH them, I think he might be the game changer of this scene. And if magkaroon man ulit ng awards locally dito sa PWPH, siguro we should expect that Legendarius might get the ano ba tawag dito, yung mga newcomer of the year sorts and the rookie of the year, ganyan, no? Yan. So, move on na tayo with the Drew 4-way match. Jacob Fatu won, obviously, so medyo given na yun sa akin. Tapos, ang dami ding twists eh. Pero, yung interference, medyo it's getting out of hand when it comes to the bloodline matches. Medyo nakakayamot din yun, no? Pero, ito yung mga stories kasi na kailangan natin i-share when it comes to this stuff. Pero, wala tayong ka-idea that we are trying na i-establish tong feud between Solo and Jacob Fatu. So, going about that, medyo logical na rin magto-turn talaga imminently si Jacob as a face. So, antayin na lang natin na mangyari. And I hope that Drew Priest and Knight, I think they did a really good job on this. No? Then, next PLE after na Money in the Bank should be Night of Champions. It will take place from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Medyo interesting because they are advertising CM Punk as well. That one. Eto, next one. We have the Women's Intercontinental title. So, ito yung nilook forward ko when it comes to the women. And I think this was the only women's match of the show. Yeah, I think this is the only women's match of the show. I really love this match kasi it really justifies the whole thing na nakuha natin for the past few weeks between Becky and Lyra Valkyria. Lyra, I would say she is a fantastic wrestler and she deserves the success that she has right now. And I could not blame WWE for pushing her beyond as their standard bearer aside from Io Sky. Pero pag-uusapan kasi natin na level to level, ang hirap ikumpara ni Lyra kay Io Sky. I'm not saying Lyra is a bad wrestler, but Io Sky is on a higher level. But both of them are great wrestlers. Both of them are amazing. Si Lyra, nag-grow na yung gimmick niya. So, it's a win-win for all of us, no? And actually, on the way they're building Lyra Valkyria, I think safe to say that WWE is doing a really good job on her and all of the mid-card champions that we have currently in WWE. So that includes Sol Ruka in NXT, which is we will talk about later on, and also Selena Vega and also Chelsea Green to extent. They did a really good job on all of their mid-card champions this recently, you know. So that was really good. Tapos, I think the feud between Becky and Lyra are also justified because of how they were able to proper set up their whole thing. So yes, puro siya counters. Counter wrestling nga yung tawag ng iba dyan. But this is one of the matches that I think they were able to execute the perfect wrestling of counters. And they were able also to properly resolve the whole thing and to give this stuff, no? And parang ang dating din sa atin, nabibigyan tayo ng magandang storytelling thanks to Lara and the Becky Lynch. So, si Becky, nag-grow sa akin yung character niya. Then, si Lyra rin kasi, sobrang galing kasi. Kinakapa niya pa yung character niya, for sure. Tsaka yung personality niya, tinatry niyang kapain yun. Pero, at least, we are able to get a development and progress regarding on Lara Valkyria. Because she is charismatic as fuck. Pero, really, yung character development ni Lara Valkyria is always off the ropes when it comes to this, no? Then, we get this cheap attack, so, between Becky. So, it's justified also that we are still continuing the feud between Lyra and Becky. Then, we have this, Dom and Penta. So, in my opinion, this match, okay lang. Hindi naman siya mahaba. Pero, there's a lot of actions that was talked about when it comes to the match. And El Grande Americano, the speed champion as we speak, it's justified to see Penta lose. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na gusto ko madalo si Penta, hindi ganon, no? Pero on the way they're building them kasi, when it comes to this AAA partnership and acquisition, I think it's justified to see Penta lose on that manner instead of just letting these people kung ano yung mangyayari possibly down the line. Again, just to remind you guys, before we move on, June 7 or June 8, Worlds Collide at Money in the Bank. Man, kinabukasan or later on. Siguro gagawin na lang tong seamless based on what I am expecting. So yeah. So like what I said, this is basically 4-on-1 that we had between Dom and Penta, and it's really good to me because Dom is Dom. Di pa siya nagta-turn. So ganyan yung finish kasi na dapat natin ma-expect from Dom, to be honest. Okay, so next here, it has been announced that Jey Uso will defend the World Heavyweight title against Logan Paul. And then, after Money in the Bank episode of Raw, it will be the winner of that match versus Gunther. It was also being announced. Then, we had here Pat McAfee versus Gunther on this match. So, in my opinion, I'm not going to give a blow-by-blow review on this. Pero I think wala na akong pakialam sa match na to. Wala na akong pakialam because this is clearly a one-sided match. This is clearly a one-sided match. And medyo mas justified naman yung way on how they were able to tell the story. So, unang-una pa lang, wala pang 1 minute, Gunther's already on Pat's skin. And he already took advantage of what needs to be done. So therefore, mananalo si Gunther over Pat McAfee. And also, Gunther's winning was justified din naman in his own right. Tsaka wala naman talagang kailangan na ibigay si Pat McAfee. wala naman kailangan na justify si Pat McAfee on this match Pero it's just a factor na tingin mo sa akin, gago ako para matalo ka. Pero Michael Cole getting that big pop says it all on how this match was built really well. I hope some promotions can also adapt into that, no? Tangin ang imagine mo, mas charismatic pa yung commentator kaysa sa ibang wrestler na kilala nyo. Yeah. So that's the case. And then yun nga, ito yung mga wrestling matches that I don't really mind the match itself as long as we are able to get the story progression that we are expecting to kick in. So That is the difference of wrestling for wrestling and wrestling for wrestling lang. Yung wala kang masabing wrestling lang na makukuha mo doon. Pero ito. So, yun lang naman yung case na nangyari. So, ito nga yung mga storytelling na nakuha natin. Pero sobrang impressive ni Pat McAfee dito. I hope we can acknowledge him on that. Tapos sobrang pagod din talaga ni Pat McAfee. Yun lang yung talaga yung case. Then, Gunther extended a hand to Pat and Cole. There wasn't a handshake, but it was, as it Gunther was saying, this issue was over. Then, they're showing some replays, and I think that was a really good match, you know. Then, we had here again the two WWE produced shows that it should be back-to-back between WWE Worlds Collide with AAA in the afternoon, and then Money in the Bank later that evening. Final, let's talk about the main event of this match. So, we are getting a lot of things, or a lot of justified things when it comes to this match. And then, I think we are also got the things that we should expect on this main event. So, it's John Cena versus Randy Orton for the Undisputed Champion. Let's talk about it. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, nung WrestleMania post-shows, Night 1 and Night 2, at saka nung WrestleMania review natin, I think justified na tong actions ni Cena. Lagi ko sinasabi dito, yes, it's very extremely cheap for Cena to win like that in a similar fashion that was done nung nanalo si Cena kay Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Yes, it was justified. Hindi naman nagalaw yung credibility ni Orton doon, kasi R-Truth saving Cena was also a big factor. Tapos inasold siya backstage doon sa post-show after that. Then, ito kasi parang sinaset kasi natin yung tone ni Cena on how he should get booked when it comes to the direction of his whole thing as the WWE Champion. No? And Cena, as of right now, loves to display this type of matches that we have. We have this realization, yes, malapit na ako mag-retire. Normal yan for Cena kasi mag-retire na siya after the year. So, that's a little bit justified, for sure. Pero ang gusto ko namang iparating, this was a really good match. Pero I could not say it's a main event worthy that we need to see. Yes, it's not the Ospreys that we know. This is not your outlaw wrestling match that we are usually expecting. But this was a really good match, no? This was a really good match. And I think there's a lot of things that was justified when it comes to this match, no? When it comes to this match. So, let's talk about it now on my post-show takes before we move on. So, the show was amazing. I find it really good, to be honest with you. But I don't think it was a really good PLE or something or sorts, no? Mas better pa rin yung Elimination Chamber, if we're being honest. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 has interference on these matches, and that is very alarming, to be honest, when it comes to this type of shows. Tapos, sobrang cheap din talaga nung dating ng ibang parts. Becky versus Lyra, I think the best match here of this show, and Jacob Fatu might turn face going forward since andyan na si Jeff Cobb. Yun na yan. I think that was really good and really good. Pero regardless, ano ba tawag dito? The John Cena win. Ano ba tawag dito? Itong win na to ni Cena, ito at Backlash, tsaka yung WrestleMania, it will now justify and establish how lazy these matches it would be. or how cheap these wins it would be. Pero like what I said, nga, na it's already being justified. Like what we are mentioning, we are going to ruin wrestling, and keep matches are already being justified as well, that it will frustrate everyone. But like what I said, it's justified based on the storytelling that we're talking about. The only antis who doesn't believe with this shit is not the ones who is following the stories. So that's Dave Meltzer to you guys. That's Dave Meltzer to you, to be honest, no? But that is our review for Backlash. I don't really expect a lot of things when it comes to this show, but I find it really good to watch this show. Yun lang naman, wala naman ako masyadong kailangan sabihin about this show. I find it's really good to watch this type of shows, and we are able then na mapag-justify ng ating mga nararamdaman about this recent show. Yun lang naman muna ang aking takes about this year's Backlash. Let me know what you think on our social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW on your takes about this Backlash PLE. So, we are looking on X as we speak. We had some announcements that it's being confirmed by our friends over on WWE that there are a few qualifying matches now for SmackDown for the Money in the Bank qualifiers. So I'm just going to look for the official preview of this week's SmackDown. No, just bear with me here. So Fightful is reporting this information about the news that we had. Okay, so just bear with me here. Wait lang, hinanap ko yung information about that. So, okay. So, we had disqualifying matches for tonight. First, for the men, it's Jimmy Uso versus Rey Fenix versus Solo Sikoa. Then, for the women, it's Alexa Bliss versus Minchin versus Chelsea Green. And as we are being told, we are also getting this imminent information about 2K26, since it will be announced next year, as it was getting reported by our friends over on Fightful. Yeah. So, yun lang naman. Naman ako kailangan masyado pag-usapan. Pero, yun lang naman. So, wala na tayo masyadong kailangan pag-usapan about it. Sorry, nag-turn off lang yung phone ko for some reasons. Ayan, pwede natin pag-usapan yung mga bagay-bagay about recent wrestling that we had. So, let's talk about NXT now. NXT, sorry, medyo backlog tayo ngayon. Just like the previous episode, no? May 6, 2025. So, konti lang ito. Joe Hendry, Hank and Tank versus Dark State. I think that was really good, no? And I always really love to see how this match will go moving forward, no? And I really love Joe Hendry. That's a little bit given, pero I think he is a really good wrestler with a gimmick, and it works. Then we had Sol Ruca accompanying Saraya in the ring versus Kelani Jordan. And next week we got this rematch between the two of them. So just bear with me here. Okay, so this match was really good for sure, and I think it's already been justified on how they're getting build this thing. So, tong Battle Royale, itakal nga natin to. Never gonna predict na si Miles Bourne yung mananalo nitong Battle Royale. Never ko na-expect yun, no? Ang weird din tignan that Timothy Thatcher is in Evolve putting people over, no? Ayun, yun lang naman yung case ko. Then, we had Julia versus Jordan Grace. This is a contenders match. Man, I think that was really good when it comes to this whole match. And, yes, actually, if you look into it, both of them are actually heels as we speak. Jordan is a heel. Then, Julia is clearly a heel for sure on her matches versus Jordan. Pero I'm glad that we are able to see how these things will move forward when it comes to the storytellings that we had for the recent WWE run that we are getting. But Miles Bourne on TV is really good to me, and I think it was already been justified how we are booking these wrestlers. But okay, so on this week's Raw, since Dynamite will be separated from this week's Raw, I really love the Punk promo. Let's start with that. So obviously they're still building up the Seth stable. So we're going to have CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Of course, we're getting a third man on their stable. And if it's who, we will find out. But I really love this promo between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I think it was justified also that we're getting this thing. So, we had Chad Gable versus Penta. So, Penta defeated Gable, but not El Grande Americano. That is justified as well. And sobrang effective din nung way nila nung pagbe-build nitong Luchadors versus Gable. But yeah, it's a little bit justified to me when it comes to these things that we had here, no? Pero yun, I think oh my god, even though ito, medyo interesting ito kasi si Gable, sinabi niya Lucha Libre sucks. Even though si El Grande Americano luchador din, so that's a little bit odd. The War Raiders versus New Day. War Raiders versus New Day was being set, but they lost to the Creed brothers. So, okay, that's odd. And then, we will find out these things going on. Pero ang weird niya no? Parang ang weird niya na hindi nagkakasundo si CM Punk at si Sami Zayn. But we will find out more of that. And we mentioned a few minutes ago that we have this news that after Money in the Bank June 9 episode, so it should be the winner of the main event match from SNME will go one-on-one with Gunther. Then ano ba? Then we have this thesis between Jordan Grace, and we are getting another tease between Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. And Roxanne Perez looks really good, man. I love Roxanne Perez, trust me. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. I think this is just part of the build that we currently have with this stable's Judgment Day split. The win over Balor, I don't really mind it because they're obviously building both of them. I think that was a really good match in my own perspective. Then, ang maganda dito, they are putting over the Bullet Club thing that we had. And ito pa, isa pa. Becky Lynch promo. She is becoming narcissistic. And, parang ang ganda ng follow-up niya. No? I really love Becky Lynch when it comes to this heel run so far. Pero, yun, I think it was justified on how this match will be built going on. Then main event between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky beating Roxanne Perez and Julia. I think this match was justified. I really love justified when it comes to kung paano natin maseseryoso itong mga episodes na to later on. Pero obviously, we're getting these builds for Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, Balor versus Rey, Balor versus Dom pala. And then, sobrang effective nito. Plus, they're doing a really good job on Jey Uso as the World Heavyweight Champion as we speak. And it shows also the distinct that we got on this current run that we having here in WWE. NXT, last thing before we end this episode. So NXT this week, we had Obafemi versus Charlie Dempsey. That was really good. I'm not going to expect that he should win. It's a little bit given, pero his progress are just there. It's very given them. And obviously, parang we are focusing on the contender so medyo wala na tayong pakialam dyan, no? Then Tony D versus Wesley. So of course Wesley is going to get the win to be able to build this matter. So Stacks was justified his actions, and then parang naglalabanan na lang silang dalawa no? At saka seryoso na rin sila na pag sobrang seryoso ni Tony D, it really works. Ito, tandaan nyo Tony D'Angelo is such a really good wrestler din. Sa totoo lang, in his own right, no? Nalilimutan natin yun Masyado kasi natin nalilimutan yun pack na yan. Kasi masyadong goofy yung character niya. And it works. We're forgetting that from time to time. And it might disappoint some of you na ganito pala kagaling si Tony D'Angelo. Then Ethan Page versus Miles Osborne. This match was fine. Not saying it's really good, pero ito, ang weird sa akin itong promo ni Tatum Paxley that they're acknowledging the releases recently with this Tatum frustrated story that we have here. And then Taya Hale versus Tatum Paxley. I think it was really good. The match was really good, and they had to put Tatum Paxley into a heel turn, no? And it was justified too in its own right. Then Stepbaker versus Stepbaker and Jordan Grace at Battleground, like what we mentioned a few minutes ago. Should be a fun match for sure, but we're not going to expect a different outcome when it comes to this product. Ayun, yun nga. Yun nga, main event between Jordan Grace and Stepbaker. I think wala na tayong pakialam sa match, no? We are just focused on how this match will be built, and kung paano nga ba dapat natin pag-usapan yung mga storylines na to when it comes to this stuff. And I really love on how they are trying to build up this whole feud between Jordan and Stephanie Baker. Other hand, I really love how WWE is building up a reunion between Shawn Spears and Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. I really love it. Pero itong NXT na to, we are able to properly address things here on this show. And I think we are now going to get this resolved as soon as possible. And then, nag-shine naman talaga sila, no? In its own right. And then, I really love that everything was already been justified on NXT television. Yun, last thing of news that we're going to talk about is the recap of TNA Impact. So, 5/15/2025. We have here again the matches that was announced for Under Siege. So, I'm not going to talk about the match between Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford versus Masha Slamovich and Nikita Lyon. So, feeling ko ang awkward. Ang awkward, no? Ang awkward na tong match na to. Si Crawford is mas okay siya as a face. And then, si Nikita Lyons, wala siyang star power. sorry. I have to tell this, guys. She doesn't have the charisma that she used to be. She doesn't have that charisma. I hope they need to rebuild that before endorsing Nikita Lyons on any shows like NXT and TNA. And yes, I love Nikita Lyons before, but the injuries that she had really fucked her up. Malaking problema yun. They fucked it up in a big way. And I don't want our girl, Nikita Lyons, to feel very disappointed on what the fuck are we getting in when it comes to these storylines. And I'm really disappointed as well kung paano nga ba gina-justify ng mga fans nito yung mga pinaggagawa kay Nikita Lyons. I am really disappointed on that. I love Nikita Lyons, pero on how she is getting built, I don't buy it. Same with Masha Slamovich. Ito, so Matt Cardona won a contenders match. Yun, not going to talk about that longer. Then we have India Hartwell making her debut sa TNA. So di naman gano'ng kahabaan yun. So medyo di naman ako gano'ng expect that, no? Then we have this development between Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian. I think their partnership is running for this week. And then we had here the match between Sabu and Rob Van Dam for Hardcore Justice. And then the main event, Jeff Hardy versus Nick Nemeth. It works. The match works, but I'm not going to say it's great. The Santino Marella versus Robert Stone match. I don't know why they're killing the characters. So, itong Robert Stone versus Santino, it's really killing the whole thing. The power struggle between these two are killing the whole thing, no? And it doesn't work. And yes, it's really ruining the whole thing that we are building at. So that's how TNA is working on. And that's really bad. That's a bad thing to say. And that's a bad thing also to execute. So that's two disappointments in one stone. Right? Yun lang naman yung gusto ko iparating. And that is disappointment. Pero yun. Yun lang muna. Yun lang muna yung gusto kong iparating. And this should be our first episode for the week. We will talk about AEW and on their overuse of their stipulations later on in the second episode that we are going to do this week. And then Queen of the Ring for the third episode that we are going to have this week here on the pod. Again, follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW. And then follow PWPH on PWPH Select on all of the social media platforms. Again, yung announcement natin that 10 p.m. Philippine time, we're going to have a live stream over on PWPH and on Main Event Mark YouTube channel as we are going to talk about professional wrestling and the history of Main Event as we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Main Event Mark podcast. So, yun lang muna. we're going to release more content anytime soon. But yun, I hope you will enjoy all of the content that we had here. And enjoy din sa mga manonood ng Dexcon Dakila. I hope this will help you to decide kung ano nga ba yung magiging continuity natin in the next couple of days. But yun lang muna. This is Angelo from the Main Event Mark Podcast. I hope you can enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and stay rest. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.